Last episode of Eastenders this week. I'm even shocked. Loosy Goosy's mistake. Lily's big mouth. Poor Bianca with her panic attack. So I hope you guys are chilled. You guys got a glass of wine and we're vibes in. Let's get started. And if you're feeling the vibe, make your woolly hat lean to the side. And if you're the episode started off with Ruby panicking because she couldn't get a babysitter for her son Roman so she can attend Martin's wake. Sharon offered to do it as she is not going to the wake. As soon as Ruby left, walks down the stairs, it's Mr. Bald-Faced Grant. Now, she was just about to kiss him, then she said no. Like, she's just a tease. Like, why are you teasing? Then she says this can't go no further, and she doesn't regret it, but there's nothing going to be between them, and she's in a relationship, and plus they want to think about Phil's feelings. And, Grant was like, so you're just happily, easily able to cheat. Like, Loosey Goosey just doesn't care. She really doesn't care. And I feel bad for all three members of this family that has to deal with such a woman and fell in love with her. And honestly, the Mitchell men needs to stay away from Sharon. Peggy was right. Stay away from Sharon. Scene was weird, funny, sad at the same time. I don't know what Eastenders is playing at here. So Bianca was sitting watching a scary film, then the telephone rings. Like it's like when you're watching it in the cinemas and you're like, don't answer the phone, don't do it. Anyway, she answers the phone. The coroner says that Reese's body is ready for releasing, and she just went off like she don't want that evil vile man's body and all that stuff. Rightly so, of course, but it's just like how they set the scene was just unnecessary. Okay, don't do that to Bianca. Bianca left the house to search for Kat as she's distressed. She couldn't find Kat, then she ended up having a panic attack. And luckily enough, Grant actually walked in because he was in the army. He actually has training to deal with such a thing. So he helped her out with her breathing techniques just to help Bianca calm down. Once Bianca managed to get her breathing under control, they sat and had a little conversation. She was expressing that she felt like she was going to die. Grant was telling her that she had a panic attack and she probably has PTSD, obviously because of what Reese has done to her. And then she made a joke saying, imagine dying in a laundrette. Dot will be there with a fag in her hand saying, come on, we ain't got all day. Like, that was a bit funny. And to be honest, I can imagine Dot saying that. The conversation continues. Bianca asks, do you like being here? Grant responds with, who does? And to be honest, I get it. Albert Square is like a vile pit of hell. Like, it's just full of drama. And I don't know if I could personally live in it. I could watch it, but I can't live in it. Bianca says she feels closer to the loved one she's lost being back. And Grant says he feels closer to his old self, which Bianca responded, the idiot. The one that shouts, yells, arguing with everyone, things like that. So Grant was just saying that he came back and he just made mistakes. Then he told her about his interaction with Loosy Goosey, if you know what I mean. So I don't know if it was best to tell Bianca such a secret. She might put that out there. I hope she does, because Sharon don't deserve for that secret to be kept. Absolutely not. So Bianca, do your job, B. Do your job. Bianca sits and gives Grant, I would say, some sound advice. Like, sometimes she has her rare moments, but this was a good advice that she gave him. And then, he said that he's off and he's going. So that was the loss of their interaction. Most of the people that lived on the square came to Martin's wake, which is held in the old Peggy's. I don't remember the new name. I know it's the woman's children combined name. It sounds stupid. Anyway, so they all came. They were just making sly comments that it's not what they expected and it's not something that Martin would really like. Lily, with her big outburst, just saying my dad would have hated it. She actually ain't got no manners. Just let people grieve. I get it. Your dad wouldn't like it. However, in Martin's character, he wouldn't outrightly be like, oh, I hate it and stuff. He would just try his best to enjoy something that he wouldn't enjoy secretly. Well, so it was just like Lily was just getting heated up as the time went by. Then we go on to Sharon and Teddy Bear. Honestly, I felt for Teddy Bear. He came into the house apologizing to Sharon for basically loving her and wanting her to rest. That's what he's apologizing for. Sharon said, oh, I got to apologize too. And he said, no, you don't. You're grieving. And I just thought, are you going to tell Teddy Bear what you just did, like, let's say 20 minutes ago with his cousin? Are you going to tell him Loosey Goosey? Are you going to tell him? No, she didn't say nothing. Instead, she let him go in the kitchen and make her food. Wow. Some women's got it great. That's what I'm saying. I can see where Lily's frustration will come from, because Ruby went and put up one picture of her, Martin, and their son. What about his other children? What about him with his other children, other loved ones? Like, she genuinely made this wake all about herself and herself only. I'm sorry, but Martin had way more other loved ones that was involved in his life, some way more than you. So I understand why Lily would want to freak out. They decided to have a speech. Ruby at first said she couldn't do a speech. Honey pushed Billy to do it. During Billy's speech, Ruby decides now, yeah, I definitely want to make a speech now. Then she talks about her and Martin and the baby and how they had their whole life together. And in the right Stacey fashion, like early 2000s Stacey fashion, Lily comes and bursts out about how my dad didn't love you. He loved Mum just before he died. He told Mum he loved her and he wanted to marry her in front of everyone. So again, in a good Stacey fashion, embarrassed Ruby. Ruby walked out in a storm. Jean is trying to quiet Lily down. Jean, you had one job, Jean. One job. You failed. And Lily, didn't your mother tell you not to say nothing? Boy, if that was my mother. Anyway, so that's what happened. Now, I didn't expect Grant to revisit Phil because of what Phil said, but I guess he grew as a person after he came yelling and shouting, after he came disappointing people, after he came and slept with his cousin's missus and also his brother's ex-wife and his brother's son's mother, you know, the whole works. Grant came and apologized for not contacting his brother sooner, apologizing for all the things that he should have done as a brother. He said he should have called more often, you know, what happened with Ben. And then he made a comment when he was having children all over the place, which I found hilarious, like, how dare ya? And then they were talking about the past slightly. Of course, Sharon came out. Why wouldn't Loosy Goosey came out? She got between them in the first place. Then they were talking about, would we make Mum proud? And then Phil said, no, but could we ever make her proud anyway? Which is true. Peggy was a hard person to please, honestly. Anyway, he said that he's leaving. They shared a hug, and then Phil said, don't, start calling often or coming to visit me often. That's what Phil said. He said, don't be coming to visit me often. Grant said, I'm not going to do that, but I will call. And I thought, my gosh, your brother is not well in the mental institution. Wouldn't you come and visit him a bit more? But I guess between these boys, a call is good enough. Stacey is minding her business and grieving over a man that she could have had as a husband. And Ruby comes bang, 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 bang in the door because of what Lily said. Saying, oh, Martin said he loved you then. Martin said he loved you then. These sound like fight words, but I continue. So Stacey was like, no, what are you talking about then? And she goes on to say that Lily went and had an outburst in front of everyone and embarrassed me to say that Martin said he loved you just before he died. Stacey flat out lied on her daughter and said that is not true. And I said, oh my god, Stacey, this is daring. Then you could have told the truth, but no, she decided to lie. Then Ruby went and said, you know what, her and her family can go and arrange for the funeral. She's not doing it because everyone keeps turning their nose up at her things. And honestly, really and truly, it's not that everyone turning their nose up at your ideas. It's just your ideas is not based on who Martin is. That just clearly shows you didn't know him as well as the others. So maybe you should sit back and listen and just participate and do what others are saying that Martin liked, instead of just coming up with your own ideas just to make yourself feel better. But honestly, I kind of felt for Stacey here. Like, she's at home, she's there crying and grieving, and you want to disturb her because of what? Lily. Although Lily did embarrass her, so I kind of understand. Grant is now ready to leave and go off back to Portugal to sort out his life and his whole stuff that he has going on there. And of course, Loosy Goosey comes running over, rushing to say her last goodbyes to him. Girl, you need to worry about telling Teddy what you've done, not about Grant. Anyway, so she comes, she says bye, tells him how much he's a good man he is. I don't know how good of a man you are when you slept with your brother's ex-wife and your cousin's current misses, but we continue. Then after that, Grant was waiting for Nigel. Nigel comes and tells Grant that he's not going to join him to Portugal. Grant said, but I wanted to take care of you. Nigel said, you don't need to do that. He just hopes that he can remember. And Grant looked him in the eye and said, you are my best mate. Remember that. Which I think Nigel will remember. Well, I hope anyway. I don't know how dementia works really. I think my nan had dementia. Anyway, so that was it really with the episode. And then Grant left. You know, the laugh duff with Grant leaving. Despite me having my reservation about Grant and all the different things he did throughout the last 3-4 episodes he was in, I did want him to stay. I felt like Eastenders would be very interesting with Grant in there. I don't know, can they not afford Ross Kemp for that long? I don't know. However, today's episode was mild again. Like I did say for the last couple of videos, that it's going to be mild because we're still grieving, but next week will probably be, you know, some real drama stuff. Today was, you know, a bit interesting. There's Lily with her outburst, which I knew she was going to do because I said that yesterday. Sharon with her lies that she's going to start telling Teddy next week. I'm sure it'll come out because Bianca now knows, so let's see how that goes. And yeah, Ruby with her, I wouldn't say meltdown, I would say tantrum. Ruby with her little tantrum. Honestly, that was the end of this week. I'm actually tired anyway. Let's refresh for next week. Please like, subscribe, and I'll speak to your homies next week.
vibe, make your woolly hat lean to the side.